This really came to a head for me this year at the Iowa Youth State Wrestling Tournament because I coach boys and girls. And there was a big
Mm.
controversy this year where a biological male was allowed to compete in the girls division. And once I saw this, and here is a picture from that event where a lot of people were standing up. This went fairly viral within the Iowa wrestling community, which is a small community,
Mhm.
but pretty much everyone was
Mhm.
on board with saying that this is not okay and we need to protect girls' sports. And I had avoided the controversy for a while. I love people. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm attacking them as an individual. But once I saw this, I'll run through a wall for any of my athletes. I'll do anything for the girls that I coach. And it sort of impressed upon me, okay, I have to say something about this. I have to vouch for the female athletes that I work with on a day-to-day basis because now this is infringing upon their day-to-day life. And, what these girls spend hours and hours training and dedicating themselves for this sport. And now they're trying to throw biological men into the girls' brackets. I can't just sit idly by and act like this is something that's okay.
Eddie, you coach girls in wrestling, is that right?
Yes, girls and boys. Yep.
Do they wrestle together?
Sometimes you'll put an older girl with a younger boy, but then the older they get, the more that puberty starts to take hold and separate them, which is why it was such a big fight in the wrestling community to get girls wrestling to even be a thing, which now feels like it's sort of backsliding. Yeah.
And
Mm.
there must be some kind of wrestling body in the States that regulates that. What's their policy? Self-ID?
Yes, that's USA Wrestling is the name, and they hadn't really taken a position on this for a while. And then there was a big controversy, like I said, with the youth state wrestling tournament this year, where USA Wrestling was going back and forth. They didn't know if they were going to allow the athlete to compete or not. And the mom of the trans athlete petitioned very hard for their kid to be allowed to compete. And USA Wrestling ended up caving and saying yes. And all the girls withdrew from that bracket and didn't get to wrestle because
Mm.
they refused to wrestle a biological male.
They didn't want to wrestle a boy. And he didn't just put the girls at risk of harm, right? He also took the place of a girl that might have been wrestling in that spot. And girls want
Mhm.
to have their spots and they want to try to win. Like, it's not just,
Yeah.
oh, we just want to play, we just want to be there, right? So someone's saying that the hormone levels of trans women, which are men, are the same as women. They're not.
That's totally false.
What
And
was
also,
going
women are not a hormone level, and men aren't a
no,
hormone level. We're a
no,
complete
no, no.
system.
No.
I wanted to
And
ask you also, Eddie, and please don't take this as aggressive or just further along in this than maybe you are, yeah. Um, but I have two girls, and they play football, so soccer, and they play at their schools once a month. And there's two schools that have quote unquote non-binary, which like boys on the girls' team. And the girls don't like it. They don't like having to pretend that this boy is a girl. And he's faster. So it's not just the safety thing and the fairness, but the psychological aspect.
yeah.
Pretending all of this as if that's
Everything
nice.
in a locker room
Mm.
to
Of
change
course.
together and
Yeah.
stuff.
And also, I just wanted to ask you, Eddie, you said biological male. What other kind is there? I'm asking that because we use the gender identity discourse, just not even thinking about it. But it implies every time we say that, you're not the only one. I also do it because I'm trying to make a distinction, talking to genderists. But it implies that there's more than one type of man, biological and something else, or there's another type of woman other than biological.